I love finding great hacks for storing art supplies, especially if they're cheaper than the alternative. They're not only practical, but have saved me a lot of money over the years. Some supplies I found to be harder to store than others, like stencils, but I will soon show you not one but two ways that have worked great for me. But first, I will start with a very common art supply, paintbrushes. Before using one of these brush carousels holders, which are very affordable, I found this inexpensive hack very helpful when storing my brushes, just using a floral arrangement foam inside a container. Then I would just poke the brushes into the foam. It was a perfect holder. As I accumulated more and more brushes, I ran out of room, and so I got myself the carousel instead. And now I even have two, which sit very close to me inside my rolling cart. My second hack is for small metal dies. I was recommended by my friend Susan to use a magnetic sheet and place all the little metal dies on it. It works great even for big dies as well, and you will never lose a die again. You can buy them pre-cut or buy a large magnetic sheet and cut it into the size you need to fit a certain folder. In terms of paper, my third hack avoids you buying a lot of expensive paper containers. I just use an inexpensive file folder organizer to store paper. I used to store my scrapbooking papers back in the day. Now I store collage sheets, magazines, and tissue paper for my mixed media projects. So it's easy to repurpose for whatever your need is. My fourth hack involves sprays. I love using sprays, but they take up a lot of space if you have many of them like I do. Before buying expensive containers like this rack or these Holtz storage boxes, I found inexpensive spice racks that I hung inside my closet door, and I was able to store a lot of sprays and other products on them. This is such a space saver and one of my favorite hacks to date. One of the most difficult products to store for me have been stencils, as I first have too many of them, and secondly, they get caught in each other if they're together. So I have found two ways to organize stencils that have been a game changer for me. The first one I used for over 10 years, as my husband, who's pretty handy, made and installed a DIY hanging rod inside one of my IKEA cabinets. And I used to hang all my stencils according to size and brand, using metal hooks. However, last year I switched to another format, where I used different size binders with plastic inserts that hold each stencil separately on a different slot. The first hack was way more convenient and had easier access, but stencils still got caught with each other. This binder version helps to keep each stencil separate, but it takes me longer to find them. However, both these methods are way better than the old method I used to have, which was just keeping it in a bin. All these hacks have made my studio very practical, and you can see these hacks and many more in my craft room tour in this video right here.